Now, as a part of service and I share on why I give. And so we'll be reading in Matthew chapter 6.
Come on, FA.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 19. It says, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moths and vermin do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." I really love this scripture because it shows where our hearts are behind our money. And like it says in verse 21, it says, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." And it just can show how we can value money, whether it's for ourselves or whether it's for God. And, recently I was reading this book, and it's called The Psychology of Money. It's a really good book if you want to learn how to process and, use our money correctly. But there was a quote that was said in there, and it said, "Wealth is the money not spent." And basically what that means is instead of, using all of your money, to spend on whatever you would like, it basically says that you should keep your money so that you can use it to build wealth over time. And so what that made me think about is how like God has invested so much in me and how all the things that he's provided in me that I should also invest back into him because he's already done so much for me and in my relationship and everything like that. And especially like as a college student, as someone that wants to buy clothes or buy shoes or or spend money on food. It's very yeah, Chick-fil-A. It's very easy to want to get caught up in that and to spend all my money. But God calls me to keep my money, to also be a steward of the money that He's given me, and I want to build wealth over time, and I also want to glorify God with my money. I want my bank account to reflect that the money that God has given me is going to Him. Um, and the reason why I give is, God has, given me the ability to work when I'm on school breaks. He's given me the ability to earn money and also provide for myself and provide for others. And so I give out of a heart of gratitude and trust that God will always provide for me. And, sometimes, of course, I'd rather spend it for myself. But, God calls me to also serve Him and His kingdom. So it's not for me. The money that is in my account is not for me, but it's for those who are in my life and also for God. And so contribution isn't just about me just giving money to give, but it's about my heart, about where my heart is towards God, because God is more valuable to me than the things that money can buy. And that is why I give.